Hi, welcome back to Small Talk Queens. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
This is episode 18, I believe.
Yes.
If you're new, because I know we have some new people that just watched the pilot the other day, thank you for tuning in. I almost said joining and tuning at the same time, so that came out weird. That's why I'd catch myself. Anyway, not meant for children, or probably elderly either for that matter. So, so if you have either one of those in the room, you might want to have. Also, you probably shouldn't listen to this in public, loud for people to hear.
We've also heard that a lot of people are watching this either on the phones or on the TVs. Can you imagine how big we are on TV?
Oh, so you got this hair going.
I know.
There you go.
It's been a bad day. It's exhausting. I'm exhausted.
In groups. I have friends that get in groups.
I know, but it's on TV. My point is that so we're really large. Can you imagine how big we are?
Well, I know. So the other week when I was trying the marijuana oil again, we put whatever that week's episode was on. Because you can access YouTube on the television,
right?
Assuming that you have a television from the last decade
and
or 20 years, 15 years, and so you can access YouTube. So we watched it, and I didn't think it was very funny, and I was high, so I was like, "Shit."
It was funny. I always laugh.
Anyway,
and they can't all be funny. Not even the best ones.
Which reminds me, so because last one we ended. Because I had a timer set on my phone and I forgot about it because I had to get to PT and I thought we'd wrap up before then. So it cut us off. When the phone goes off, it cuts us the fuck off. I can't.
We're not tech savvy.
I can't. I tried editing. We tried for a half hour.
This is like old school. I don't even know how to.
We just fought with the fucking contraption.
I don't even know how to. A couple things. I need to get back to my first point, which I didn't do. But I don't even know how to do anything with the TV other than plug it in. I can't do anything. Wow. So this is going to be campy. This is going to be rough. I mean, we're 18 episodes in, and we haven't hired anybody to come do this or do the editing.
We don't make any fucking money. We're not going to hire anybody.
Right. So we'll get to it eventually. But my point being is that people watching us big screen on the phone, wherever, at the gym, in your car, but we're better not to listen to. We're better to be seen because of the facial.
I've had multiple people tell me that they don't like to just listen. They have to. Yeah. They have to watch.
You gotta the facial expressions in the hands.
You can't see my eyes go big. You can't see that if you're just listening.
Right. Or the head toss. So anyhow, the point being is that we've had a lot of people tell us, this is great. I love it.
Tell us what.
This is exactly what I want. That they find themselves talking to the TV.
Yes.
Or the telephone.
Yelling out when we can't
the
answer. We're coming up with a word we can't come up with. We're trying to come up with a word we can't come up with it. People yell out the answer to us. We appreciate that.
Or, oh, that's me. I've had that happen. That kind of thing. So.
Or if you're in the story, we don't mention you by name. I mean, that you know it's you. But
that's me. That's
me. You can't always mention people by name. You don't know. People don't want their shit out there, so you never know. I wobbled the table.
And I can't make up a name while I'm talking because you're just lucky I don't put out your whole name while I'm telling the story.
I give her reminders beforehand. You can't always give the names.
It's like my special Tourette's or something. Some people are their first and last name. I'll use this because I know Stephanie Reddish, one of my friends from college. She's not just Steph. She's not Stephanie. She's not just her last name. It's Stephanie Reddish.
Well, hopefully, Stephanie, if you're watching this, you don't mind. But
I don't think she's watching, but there are people on there that know her.
Okay.
But it's said it's loving. It's not mean.
Okay.
But that's my point.
Okay. So
we got a lot.
We're to really not shake the fucking table again. Okay. So I'm going to very briefly pick up where we left off last time because it cut us off and we were talking about, I think we pulled the card, right? About somebody you worked with that you hated. Yeah. And so I was talking about somebody vehemently, in some rough words. I can't say the fucking word. I can't. And so, vehemently. Anyway. And then we got done and then you reminded me about this other fucking bitch that I worked with. Oh. My first year teaching.
Wasn't that when you were doing your student teaching on the emergency teaching cert?
Yeah. So I'm not going to do not give her name.
Right. Yeah.
So when I moved to Philadelphia, they were short 900 teachers. It's cycles because, they do layoffs and then people fucking hate it and they quit. And so there's cycles of where they need a ton of teachers and then they're laying off and they need a ton of teachers. So it's cycles. Anyway.
This was in year 2000.
Yeah. So the year I moved here and I had known about this program in college. It was what was it? A fucking whatever, learn to teach program. It's like student teaching, basically. So you get your certification while you're co-teaching with somebody else. So I went back to school and got my master's and did this. And I knew about it in college because one of my roommate's moms was a principal and told me about it. But there's your fucking phone.
That's because it goes. It goes interrupted. Sorry, I have the emergency pass.
So. Anyway, I was co-teaching with somebody and she was awful. She was fucking awful. I would my first year, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Why is she awful? I was so eager and I was so excited to teach, because in college when I was at Penn State, I had wanted to go. My major was going to be education, but you had to have a certain GPA from your first like 2 years before you could declare that as a major, and I did not have the GPA that you needed to get into the College of Education.
Oh, that's a whole other story we got to get to. Not today, but that's another day.
You had to have a 3.0 and I had like a fucking 0. So I could not go into the College of Education. So anyway, went back to school at my master's, and then I would go in every day. And this one, I mean, I would like cry. Like, she was awful. I'd go in and say good morning, and she just fucking like I might as well have been fucking talking to my cup, like good morning. The cup probably I would have gotten more out of talking to the cup than I would have gotten out of talking to her. She was a fucking bitch.
She was a see you next Tuesday, and I don't say that word.
She was. She was
a see you next Tuesday.
She absolutely was.
With like 10 exclamation points.
She was just mean. She wasn't as bad as the one I talked about last time, but she was bad enough. I dreaded going in. And incidentally, the only single fucking B grade that I got in grad school was from teaching with her. Mm-hmm. In 2 years of grad school, the only B. And what had happened was, conveniently for her, when Grandma died, it was right before Thanksgiving. And so I had gone to the principal, and I was like, what do I get for bereavement? Like, what do I do? You know, the funeral was like Monday or Tuesday or something, and then I was supposed to have worked Wednesday and then turned around and gone back for Thanksgiving. And the principal said to me, just go, don't worry about it. It's, you know, just take your bereavement, and then, you know, whatever, like a personal day or whatever it was before the holiday, just, there's no back and forth. Don't worry about it, she says. So in the meantime, the old hag that I had that was like my supervisor for the class, the one who was grading me, conveniently went to see me, and I think I told her that I was going to be out, and she went anyway, like to observe me, but I wasn't there, and I told her I wasn't going to be there, and she went anyway and had a conversation about me with this fucking bitch.
Let's see you next Tuesday.
And then came back with like a poor thing. I'm like, what? Like, she didn't even let me fucking teach. How can you even? Anyway, look, I hate to start off. We get
hostile again.
I hate to start off on the negativity, and I know we want this to be fun and not a bunch of negativity. It came from the box of questions from last time, so I'm just finishing up, and then you reminded me about her. I've like forgotten about her.
But the box of questions don't mean they are funny questions, but they don't
talk about like the worst coworker you ever had.
I don't think they were ever expecting like the bitterness that we have towards some of our jobs.
Like I said last time, I don't hold a lot of hate in my heart, but when I fucking do, it's there for good. It's not fucking going anywhere. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know, like an apology would ever even fix it.
Hey, let's go on to a lighter topic, my birthday.
Let's move on.
My birthday. Thank you to everybody who texted, called, emailed, the Facebook. The Facebook is really the greatest thing ever.
It is. It's fun.
It really is. You do feel the love. It makes you feel like you really have a lot of friends. Which may or may not be true. Some people might not even know. It just looked
I feel badly because I don't, like, some days I get birthday notifications and then other days I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
So look, if I don't fucking see it, I mean, I don't, how am I supposed to know?
Someone told me that if you go to your calendar, you know, your app, like on your home screen, your calendar, bear with us. I'm not being rude.
When I go to my calendar, it does not show me birthdays.
It has you push on that and it tells you whose birthday.
Mine does not do that. I looked at my calendar earlier, it does not do that.
Happy birthday, Christine Hughes.
If you even fucking watch.
It's like this week.
Who knows?
I think she does. She's commented.
Okay.
With Karen, our friend Karen. So at any rate, it was my birthday. It was a great.
What a fun day. Went to lunch with Joe.
Yes.
Like the three of us.
Had some Bloody Marys.
I know, so much for going dry. I can't.
We had a great lunch. Bloody Marys. It was good. Bunch of
veggies. It was a very healthy lunch.
Yeah. Except for the salad did not come in my.
Yeah, the Bloody Marys, I was so excited to have one because it comes with the pepperoni and all the fixings.
The celery stock.
It didn't. It just fucking came with a couple of olives. Yeah. And then we went again with my mom while she was in town for the flower show, and then it came with one olive, not even fucking two.
No, it was one. I was hostile. And lemon, you're not even supposed to use lemon. I thought it was lime or something. I don't know.
They have a new bartender. I need to call them. Oh. You know, I got a survey. I should fill it out. Be like, look, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your Bloody Marys.
They're not going to care.
And yesterday's was spicy, and last week's wasn't spicy.
Oh, yeah, yesterday's was really good.
How could it be so... It was good. How could it be so fucking random, though?
Really good.
I know. I was swollen then. I'm still swollen. These are usually loose.
And it was my birthday, and I had the best cake ever.
The Jason Kelsey cake.
Jason Kelsey cake.
She had two cakes because we went and got you one.
Yeah. Well, no, that was really good too. Oh,
I wouldn't tell them the story. But I was a little bit drunk, so I got a cake instead because it was.
And what did you call it?
I was looking around.
The Bakery House.
The Bakery House has like fucking crack cakes. I mean, they're really
If
good.
you live here and have not had a
They're
Bake
like
the Cake Bakery House cake, go get one.
I know. I hope Heather, I hope you're watching. They're so fucking moist and dense. What is that word? It's like, I mean, it's like a brick. It's
The
like a
chocolate
thud on the
cake
plate.
is so heavy. I mean, the vanilla
like
is dense
fudge-like.
too.
It's
But the
amazing.
chocolate is like, you pick that bag up and you know
It's
you
heavy.
have a cake.
It's like a fucking 45-pound cake. You're like hauling around. Anyway, so I went in to get the cupcakes after the two Bloody Marys. And I was looking around, and so that I was looking for the extra cakes. Because you said they have extra cakes.
They
on
always have
hand.
extra cakes.
So I saw something I thought might be the extras. So then the woman asked if she could help me. I said, do you have a spare birthday cake? And she said, a spare. I said, well, like one that's not taken that I can take with me as a birthday cake. So then, yes, up there was she was showing. So some had roses, which was tempting because like they were pretty, and then you had like that whole big bite of fucking icing. But then the one was rolled like smothered in the sprinkles. If Philadelphia Jimmy's, what the fuck, rainbow Jimmy's sprinkles, whatever. It was smothered. It was lovely.
That's the one you got me.
And then she wrote very nicely, "Happy birthday, Kelly."
She has very nice handwriting.
But she used the icing didn't match.
I know, but
And then
that's
that-
because
it was
when you
fine.
do it
It
ad
was
hoc
fine.
like that, you're lucky to even get a name on it. Like,
Yeah.
just be glad.
Well, and then there were all the things. I mean, the bakery,
know.
like all the things, the Easter candy out, all this shit.
they
and
have St.
all-
Patrick's Day. They have the soda bread. They've got the
soda bread,
cookies.
but so they had a giant St. Joseph's cake. The thing was like not ginormous, and it kind of looked good. But I was like, "What is this?" It's not like iced or anything. And I got back in the car. Joe was like, "Did they have a St. Joseph cake?" I said, "Yes, there's a giant one, like right there." But we didn't need a second cake.
No.
That was like twice the size of mine. It was fucking gigantic. And I was like, "Oh my god! Like, is there a baby doll inside of this? Like
It's not
the other one?
It's not the Mardi Gras cake.
It's like the king cake or
The
whatever."
king
Yeah.
cake.
So I was, but there's no baby doll. So anyway, so then he explained St. Joseph's Day, and it falls around Lent somewhere in there, and then the Pope or the bishop or somebody says you can go ahead and have meat on that day to celebrate the St. Joseph's Day, because I guess you're supposed to have a feast. And like all of you that are Catholic, I just botched that. It's something like that.
Yeah.
It's something like that. Anyway.
So,
lots of
but it
cake.
was not only my birthday. We celebrated my actual birthday on the day, but the week before we had celebrated the Shawninator's birthday,
Yes.
who's 18, and mine.
And she had well, a lot of my friends are not your friends. People watch this
know.
have no idea like what the fuck you got because they don't know. But so the Kelsey with his shirt off.
Yeah. Well, I
the
tagged
cake-
you in it.
You should
We'll
a
put it
picture-
up. We'll put it up.
'Cause people, not everybody's friends with us on Facebook. So there are people that watch us that aren't friends with either one of us on Facebook.
We'll put it up on
so
the
we make
thing.
the assumption. Oh yeah, and also like the fucking Instagram. I don't know how to work it. And when we have it, and people try to follow it, and there's nothing that like the last thing was like I don't even know what picture from like 4 months ago. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we have
can't-
to get on it. It's hard
I
to do.
know.
Social media,
Time, social media.
it's our generation. Just be glad we have Facebook,
I mean, it's difficult.
and we're not doing the TikToks. So don't even ask.
The TikToks. Well, someone said we should do some shorts. Oh, the fuck? I can't, like it's like a reel. I can't.
Mike was
I can't.
trying
I
to
can't.
show me how to
Well,
do
and
the
now that-
shorts,
what-
and I'm like, I'm in the middle of a workout. You
But
can't.
some of our best conversations are when we FaceTime each other.
That's how this whole thing started.
That's how this whole thing started.
'Cause we
It's
FaceTime in the morning.
And I learned how to record it. But the problem is, first of all, I mean, I have to hit record, and then I'm like, Kelly, wait, I'm about to hit record.
And we're
a
usually
lot
in
of
our
times,
pajamas.
Our pajamas. My brows on, and my bun is like it's like over here, like hanging on the side of my head, it's like over here. So I can't like it just. I mean, so yes, because those are like truly authentic. Like some of the shit that we talk about that we find amusing with each other. Like the shit that you send me, like the moose and the snow and the fucking like woman getting mauled by a bear. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. There are multiple maulings of bears that you tell me about.
I know, but
Anyway,
We're
like
gonna get to that.
The day that I called you when I was for my birthday weekend when we left Joe behind.
oh yeah.
I mean that, and you peed your pants. I mean like that.
I mean, I
was-
did. I. It's unfortunate. It's a sign of age and, birthing
It happens.
2 kids.
My friend sent me. I told you, my friend sent me this thing about Kegels, but the thing, but I'm not there yet. Thank you for that information. I looked into. I'm not
doing
I don't even
Kegels.
have the conversation.
I have
right
enough
now.
trouble doing other things. Like I know that you can just sit there and do. I'm not doing
I don't
it.
even do the stretches I'm supposed to do with my fucking back, let alone let me work those muscles. I'll just pee myself. I can't. I fucking can't.
She made fun of me.
can't. I did make fun of you.
I mean, I peed myself twice
You
at your
peed yourself
house.
laughing, and she did. She did. She
Right
peed
out the
herself-
front
We're
door.
going out the front door. Like she was
I was
just
carrying
squatting,
her
carrying
really
something
heavy.
and she full on pissed herself, and the neighbors were outside, and I'm watching her walk to the car, and you can't miss the wet spot down her legs. It was unbelievable. And then, like, I'm bigger than
I
her, so
was
she couldn't borrow my
laughing so-
clothes.
I
Like,
was-
digging out a pair of leggings she could get into. It was, like, a little big for her. But I mean, Christ.
I fell out the
There
door.
was straining and laughing and getting this box
Because I
out
had
the
this
door.
really heavy chair that was in a box.
It came here.
It was for my son.
It was a birthday present. It was delivered
It's a
here
gaming
for a
chair. It was a gaming chair, and it was ridiculous. So it was a surprise. It came here. Don't ever do that again, Mom and Dad. So it came here, and I had to move it.
And I have the bad back, so I couldn't help her.
So this is how intelligent we are, if you remember. As I told this story,
nobody watching this thinks we have
as
any bit of fucking intelligence.
No, I'm talking to you. I was telling the story to somebody, and the person made this very good point, which we weren't smart enough to figure out. So I'm going out her front door with the big heavy ass box, which is awkward too, by the way.
Gigantic.
And she's standing right behind me, like over top of me, opening the door, when really what she should have done is walked outside.
It was really an awkward, fucked up. There was not a lot of planning there.
No.
Clearly.
So then I kind of fell, and then as I was laughing so hard.
And you beat yourself. And I had to carry this down to the car, and it was full on wet. It was yeah.
That's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Really
it also happens more than.
When was the
you
other
can
time?
get your shit tucked, right? Can't you get like your?
I'm not doing that.
With the mesh, I see the commercials.
I'm not doing that
for the lawsuits.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's what I want.
I don't think they use the mesh anymore.
I don't need it. I don't need it. It's age. So what was the other time I did? I can't remember.
I mean, it's like all the time, so I can't.
No, but there was
track.
a second one.
I mean, every time we're at your house, you have to like leave the room.
No,
and go
it
change
was
your
here
pants.
because Joe was like, "Why does it always happen at my house?"
Oh, no, but she's not allowed to sit on the new couch because if she pees on it, I'm not gonna be happy. Either she nor Sean are allowed to sit on it. It's like rules.
Hey, ladies,
Rules.
if you're watching this and you're over 50, we are all in the same boat. And she's 7 years younger, so she'll be.
No, it happens.
She's coming into her prime.
Because what happens is that I think I'm 20 again, and I gotta pee, and I think I can hold it, and then but I can't. I mean, like when you feel the urge, now you gotta go. There's no more. Anyway, people are like, oh my god, why are you talking about? Anyway, okay, we're gonna change the subject.
But it was funny.
When you piss yourself, it was highly amusing.
So,
and then the harder she laughed, the more she.
And the more you try to stop laughing, it was like the dinner table when we were growing up. Dad would do something, and we would, because Mom was usually at work at night because she was home during most of the days. So he would tell us, like, one of us would get in trouble, or he'd say something, and we were then we couldn't stop laughing.
Not to laugh at inappropriate moments is always the funniest fucking thing. I mean, it's.
And he's like, if you laugh, if you continue laughing.
When I used to go to church with Joe, sometimes it would happen, and I was like really bad because I would sit there and we would usually sit, like, I don't know, people could see me, towards the front by the door, and I'm like.
Having a seizure?
Like, people thought I was having a seizure. People were like, oh my god, what's wrong with her?
That's really inappropriate.
I can't. Anyway, okay, wait. So speaking of inappropriate.
I have to get to my other things.
We'll get to your other things. It's okay. Inappropriate. Have you heard of an intimacy coordinator before?
No, it sounds like a psychologist.
So the other day, I look at my like Yahoo fucking news popped up or whatever, and there's some article about something, and I meant to click because I was like, intimacy coordinator in the movies. Who knew? I have wondered before, did they just like these sex scenes? Like, what happens? So it used to be done by the director, but now, so then I Googled it because I was like, I didn't read the article, but I Googled Google it. I Googled the intimacy coordinator, so it's a job. They make between like $1,100 and $1,500 a fucking day.
A day
by making sure that you're comfortable.
Is this only for porn or like real movies?
No, it's for real movies.
Okay.
Fucking porn doesn't have a fucking intimacy coordinator, for Christ's sake.
Well, they could.
No, they're actually.
I know, but they could.
No. The intimacy coordinator makes sure that, because there are barriers that are often between them and things, modesty barriers.
I was going to say, and don't they have, the things?
But not everybody. Some
unless you're Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, there was, nothing. That's why he and Jennifer Aniston.
Well, see, I've also wondered that, because, when you're getting hot and heavy in a movie, you probably have to rehearse it a little bit.
I mean, now, come on. When you see the bare butt.
I don't know. Look, it may not be his bare butt. Sometimes, okay. Sometimes it's their nudity. Sometimes it's somebody else's nudity, and they cut it in. There's all these different. So reading about this was fascinating today.
This is your new job. You're gonna do it.
Well, I thought so. I don't think you even have to have a fucking degree or anything. You just have to go in and make sure everyone's comfortable.
Wait, what degree?
Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable?
Wait, what
the
degree
director
is that?
wants more boob. Oh, you don't want more boob. Okay, we have to find happy ground here.
And no gratuitous. That nobody wants gratuitous.
Well, so you have to make sure everybody's happy and comfortable. And you have to. There's fucking choreography.
There's choreography for everything.
To choreograph the sex scenes, which is the whole thing was it's a fascinating.
I wouldn't want to
read.
do it. No wonder the stars don't really like to do them.
It was a fascinating read. Well, I think it would be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing. What if you fucking like the person? like you're acting and you're in this movie because you're gonna get like all this money and you're gonna, whatever. But what if the person's like, what if they have like fucking nasty breath or?
Well, no, they talk like
What if they
they've
have, like, the
interviewed
BO or
movies. They've
something?
interviewed movie stars.
What if
Like
they don't have the
some of them,
Lumi?
some of
I
them
mean-
chew. Some of them chew mints and stuff beforehand.
I mean, you have like, I mean,
Not all of them. Speaking of movies and
movies.
choreography, I just saw, it's coming out on March 21st on Amazon Prime Video,
okay.
the new Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal.
For the
No,
love of Christ,
You haven't lived until you've seen Jake Gyllenhaal. Wait, he is
Gyllenhaal. It's not Gyllenhaal. It's
Gyllenhaal, whatever. You have not lived until you have seen Jake. I was never like a big fan. Like he was attractive, whatever. He is fucking ripped.
So first
He
of all,
did the notorious MMA, which is Conor McGregor's workout, because Connor's in the movie.
Shake the
Conor
table.
plays the bad guy.
oh, for the love of Christ.
Meanwhile, I've never seen the
Wow.
first one.
So you can't watch the second one.
No, John's like, oh, this looks really good. I can't wait.
It's one of
He's
those
like, Roadhouse
ones
is my
that you
favorite
see,
movie.
for the love of Christ.
It looks really good.
Look, I love Patrick Swayze.
No, you don't understand. Jake is.
And I love, what's his name, with the voice? Who's in it? Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott is in it. The original.
There's no Sam Elliott in this.
No, of course. He's like half dead. I don't even know. He's old now. I don't know. So he's not in anything anymore. But I remember, so this is your brother, because I remember Joe heard about this recently, because he's like, because the first one was so good, they made a fucking second one.
Well, I mean, it's like, I think it's like
the
a
first
cult
one was
thing.
good. There's a good sex scene in there up against the wall. I remember, because I was young when I saw it, and I should not have been watching it. We had the HBO.
I never saw the first one, but this one has yachts, and they're like blowing shit up, and
Yeah, it's a
She's-
rich guy in Texas. I think it's Texas.
Yeah,
Always in
okay.
Texas. No offense. Rich guy in Texas, and Patrick Swayze's there. The premise is that Patrick Swayze was
Patrick
at the
Swayze's
bar.
not in this
I
one.
know. Okay, fucking the first one. Patrick Swayze was there.
he's like a bouncer.
Like post Dirty Dancing. He was there to like get this bar into shape. And the guys had like spurs and like blades and shit on their cowboy boots.
I
and
like the cockfighting.
and they're
Spurs.
They're like fighting, and there's all this like crazy shit. And then the rich guy, I forget, he doesn't like Patrick Swayze and blows his house up, and I don't even remember. And he's seeing a woman who's a doctor. That's who he has the good sex scene with.
Okay.
I mean, look, if you've seen Roadhouse,
Okay, but
I
we
mean,
don't
the
need to
sex
recap
scene
it.
is like what makes it good.
The point is,
There's
folks.
a new one.
The point is, folks.
I'm gonna have to see it.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to fucking see it.
Guys or
I
girls.
don't want to see it, but I'm gonna have to see
Guys
it.
or girls out there. I don't care which
When is
way.
this available?
It starts the 21st of March.
Oh, good. The day before my surgery.
Jake is a good sight to look at. I mean,
Not
he
bad.
is ripped, and it shows him doing some exercises,
Is it really
some
him,
crunches. Yeah,
Okay.
because I also follow Connor because I love Connor a little bit, and he could talk to me all day in his Irish brogue all day long. I could
You can't
listen
understand a
to
fucking
him.
word he says.
I could listen to him all day long. So, and I don't know what that says about me. Like, you can't. I don't know. Like, some people are like, "Why do you want to listen to that?" Like, it's not. I don't know.
Nice little, I like the sound of it.
I don't know, but Connor has put on some weight. Conor McGregor. He's gonna fight June something in Las
Well, like,
Vegas.
for real, like not for the movie.
185. Yeah, he's getting
Like
tagged.
this?
He's getting tagged into the
There you go.
octagon.
Christ.
I told you I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm like,
Well, okay. So speaking of movies, so Joe and I every year we try to watch the ones that are up for Oscars. Not that we even usually watch a fucking
which
Oscars.
are gonna be soon.
Well, they're late.
show.
They're a month late this year.
I know, but the show's gonna be
So
soon
it's this weekend.
or next weekend, depending upon when you watch this.
Oh yeah. Anyway, look when I post it. Anyway, so we've been trying to watch the movies. So we're watching the ones that were available for free, and then we did rent one. So and we talked about a couple last time. I forget which ones I talked about last. So since then we saw Past Lives, which was excellent.
Is that the one with the guy with the goofy eyes?
No, Past Lives was about a Korean woman who immigrates to the United States, and then as a child, and then as an adult, her friend that she had that's like totally in love with her, they reconnect, and then there's this whole thing, and it's basically just like a love story with subtitles. So, and then I was having, I'm supposed to be being dry. I understand. It was after my PT, a lot of pains, and I had a couple drinks. And so then I had to stop though because I had to wait till close to the end of the movie because I had to keep reading the subtitles, and that's difficult if you've been drinking or any other substance. So anyway, it was okay. I don't need to see it again. I felt bad for the guy at the end.
Okay.
Anyway, then we saw The Holdovers. That was with Paul Giamatti.
With the funny eyes?
And he had, so it starts, I'm like, I didn't know he had a lazy eye. Who knew?
She calls me and says that to me in the morning.
And Joe too was like, I'm like, I never fucking noticed it before. I'm like, wait a minute, this has to be contacts because I would have seen this. I would have seen this before.
I would have noticed this fun.
Right?
Fun...
So I Googled it, and immediately up comes an article from
Google.
Vanity Fair, and this woman who does, like, the contacts and the shit for, like, a bunch of other famous movies, like, with better like, costuming or whatever. She did it for this one. And then the director, then she had to make two because the director wanted to switch them. So to make it, I can't.
Oh.
I can't. Anyway,
my
The
God.
Holdovers is by far, though, the best movie that we've seen.
Was it funny?
It was funny and dramatic.
Okay.
So think like, was it with Robin Williams? Like Good Will Hunting? Was that it? No, not Good Will Hunting. The one with Robin Williams at the boys' school. Christ, now I can't think. I knew it earlier. I can't fucking think of it.
I want to say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but that's not it.
Christ.
It's,
anyway,
the
someone
boys'
shout
school.
at your screen
My
right
poet.
now.
What is it? Oh my God.
I know. I can see it. I fuck. Anyway.
Wait, it is Good Will Hunting.
It's not Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting had Matt Damon in it.
Oh yeah. And what's his
I know,
face?
and I have it, and I can see the movie. I've seen it like a dozen times, and I
It'll
cannot
come to
think
us.
of it. Someone else
blurt
is shouting
it.
out right now.
We'll blurt it out when we.
Anyway, I knew it earlier because I was talking about it. Anyway, it's
Dead Poet Society.
Dead Poet Society. Thank you, Jesus Christ. And you don't even drink or do the drugs. I mean, it's unbelievable. Anyway,
You don't know what I do and don't.
please, I do. So
If you had two children, you wouldn't.
The Holdovers was the best out of all of the ones we've seen this season. So we've seen, I don't know, 6 or 7 other, I think, whatever, I don't know, but the best. I would definitely see it again. So it's the one also, it has the DeJoy, what's her name? Divine.
Oh yeah, from
Divine
Philly.
from Philly. The beautiful heavyset black woman is very busty at the one award.
Where?
She was like
Yeah, we talked about it in one of the
Coming
other
out of her-
episodes. I mean, she literally
laying
the
out of
Golden
her.
Globes, like
yeah.
it was.
Like
it was
I wanted
there.
to like reach in and like tuck them down in her dress.
And it wasn't because she was sitting down and like the dress was pulling. It was
No,
just
it
made
was-
that way. It was bad.
Low.
Like
Anyway,
too low.
So this is the movie that she's up for the award for. The movie is excellent. So it has a perfect amount, a perfect balance of comedy and drama in it. I loved it. I would say it's funnier than Dead Poet Society because Dead Poet Society was more.
I didn't really find that.
No,
too
it's like
funny.
it was more of a drama, but. This has drama in it, but it's also very much a comedy, very much worth a watch, and by far the best one that we've seen. It probably will not fucking win, which is a shame because it's not fucking artsy fartsy enough for everybody. Look. Some of these fucking movies, I'm like, come on. I mean, like the one with the fucking arms last year.
Oh my God!
That won all the awards and it had like
I
the
never
fucking
saw
gummy.
it.
Don't you'll never get those 2 hours of your life back ever. I can't even. I
don't watch Oscar movies. I don't go by awards.
They
I go
used
by
to
what
be
looks
good movies though, and now they're too artistic. Look, if you're into this shit, fine. Half the time I'm like the Barbie movie. I was like, so am I missing something here? Is it just about gender inequality? It's gender inequality.
That's
Okay,
what John said when he saw a big commercial for it today for
About
the
gender
awards show.
inequality, yeah.
He's like, "What am I missing here?"
That was it. That was it.
I mean, if you liked it, that's fine. We have not seen it.
I don't need to
I mean,
see
I
it
have not
again.
seen it. John,
The only one that I've watched that I will watch again is The Holdovers, and it was fucking excellent. Then we watched the other night, again with the fucking subtitles, Stone Sober, we watched Anatomy of a Fall, which was fascinating. So that takes place in France, and there's some English, so there's speaking English sometimes, and then there's subtitles. So the premise of this movie is that her husband dies from a fall, and then they want to blame her, and so it's trying to prove if she did or did not do it. Very good. I don't know that I need to see that again either. I don't need to see it again. It was good though. It was kind of like Forensic Files and like, you know.
I heard the
like,
one with Emma Stone is really good.
See, that looks weird to me. I'll probably watch it, but so we've only watched the ones that are available free first, and we've watched the free ones. So now we rented Anatomy of a Fall the other night. I like that Forensic File nonsense. Pardon me. Excuse me while I have to fucking adjust myself here in my chair because I'm very uncomfortable.
Oh, I thought you were getting up.
No, I'm just trying to get fucking comfortable. 2 more weeks. So anyway,
just watching the
I
Neighbors.
was watching the fucking Neighbors. I can't even help myself. So, speaking of Neighbors, oh my God, speaking of Neighbors. Okay, it's enough about movies. Speaking of Neighbors, so I had my visit with the surgeon on Monday.
You are not even ready for this. You aren't ready for this. If you're driving, pull over because you aren't ready for this.
So I had my appointment with the surgeon on Monday. It's like my last appointment before surgery.
At least he's a young surgeon, so a sense of humor.
He's young. I mean, he's very serious, but he has an okay sense of humor. It takes a minute. Like, I think maybe because I don't know if he just doesn't know what the fuck to think of me.
Or you're talking too fast.
Or I'm talking too fast. So there's a combination of things, but sometimes it's like a delayed reaction, and then there's a laugh. So he comes in, he's like, I understand you have some questions for me. And I pull out I have my notebook, I pull it out. Yes, I have some questions for you. So first, I'm gonna go and order the questions that I went, but I brought this up because speaking of Neighbors. Speaking of things, as Sean would say. So my first question, and I'd asked my PT this the day before, or the last week. I asked my PT this last week because I was saying how I had the appointment with the surgeon, and he was asking me a question about it, and I said, all I really want to know is, when can I ride a fucking mechanical bull? Will I be able to, and when can I? So my PT, so he's laughing. He's like, I was not expecting that.
No, I mean, you're lucky he didn't have like a scalpel in his hand.
So he was done with the needles, I think, at that point. He stops. When I say something funny, he like pauses what he's doing. You have to. Thank God, right? So he didn't like catch a nerve or a capillary. So we have a little laugh about it. And maybe he didn't even think I was serious, but I was like, look, I'm like, it's on my bucket list. So I go.
What a bucket list?
Because I hurt my back freshman year of college, and so I never had the opportunity to ride a mechanical bull.
Because that's what everybody wants to do and has the chance to.
If I could, I would get on a real live fucking bull, but it probably like
Patrick had one after prom party
like
at high school.
Bull. Like a real like fucking like rodeo, like chaps, all of it. It looks like so much fun.
Are you fucking high?
Until you're like a pail. But anyway, okay. So mechanical bull. So I've not ever been able to do this because of the bad back. So I'm at the surgeon's office. I open up my notebook. I flip to the page.
So he thinks she's intelligent.
And I said, yes, I have some questions. I said, and some of these you may not have been asked before.
You're not ready.
He nods.
He was not ready.
My friends on Facebook, they already saw this. I posted that the other day. So he nods his head, and I said, I said, and so, in all seriousness, after the surgery, will I be able to ride a mechanical bull? And if so, how long do I have to wait? So he paused and he kind of looked at me and was like, well, 3 months if you don't fall off. He said, but I got on one many years ago. I was not expecting that either because he's very serious. He said, I got on one many years ago, and within 3 seconds it threw me halfway across the room. He said, so we're going to go with a year. You're going to have to wait a year because this is going to fall under contact sports, I would say.
Oh, you think?
And then he goes, and you're right. He goes, I've never been asked that. I've never been asked that one before. And he said, usually I'm asked about like skiing, or something like that. He said, which is also contact sports. Yes. I said, I'm not really interested in skiing. Just the mechanical bull. I said, because it's on my bucket list. I'm 47. I'm not getting any fucking younger. I've been injured a long time. I want to do this. And then so then we had a whole discussion about that.
Maybe we should put that on our show. 2 things. We should video you
mechanical
riding
bull?
it a year, and a year from now,
right?
you riding it.
Well, my goal
and
is
we should have
want
your surgeon in. You should interview
so
him there.
I had PT the day after my appointment with the surgeon, and my PT said to me, PT Joe, I call him PT Joe to differentiate between my husband Joe, so we're having conversation, PT Joe said, oh my God, I want to have live streaming when you're in with your surgeon. I have to hear these conversations. So question number 2 for the surgeon was, can you show me exactly on my back where this tattoo is going to go?
No, not tattoo.
Tattoo, right?
It's going to be a tattoo, all right.
Where the incision is going to be. Because
it'll be a tattoo.
Because I had the epiphany last weekend, and I came literally running out of the bathroom and said to Joe, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, and then getting my hair ready. I came out, I'm like, oh my God. This is going to fuck up my rock star tattoo.
Which doesn't even really say rock star anymore.
It does. So I asked the surgeon, where exactly on my back is this going to be? So he gets behind me. He's like, his hands on, like through my clothes, like hands on my hips, figure out my hips are like uneven at the moment. So like, okay, figure that one out, buddy. And then he's like pointing, and I'm like, but I can't. I'm like, okay, so because he like threw my clothes. And finally, I was like, okay, so really the question is this going to interfere with my tattoo? Is this going to go through the tattoo that I have? So then, like, up comes the shirt, like looks down the pants, like checking a baby's diaper for Christ's sake.
Is Joe in the room?
Yeah. So he looks, and he's like, it should go like, and he's so serious, just right to the top of it. I said, okay. So and by the way, I don't know what that looks like now, but it was supposed to say rock star. So I sit back down. He said, I saw rock star. He said the word rock and a star. I said, okay, good. Yeah, I want to make sure because after I had it, which we've told the story before, but I explained to him the story.
The R became a C.
The R, scab, the R became a C, whatever. And he paused and then he laughed and he's like, I can see what you mean now. He goes, and this is just another really good example for me to give my kids on why they should not get tattoos. And I laughed. I said, it is a good example. And he said, but the oldest is only 10, so I might have to wait a few years to tell him about this. I said, yeah, wait. And then the next question, speaking of the neighbors, is I wanted to know, I wanted to know how familiar he is with his surgical team. Like, is it the same group of people every time? Does he know the anesthesiologist? Blah, blah, blah. So we had this conversation, and I said, okay. I said, well, so there's a woman that I know who's one of my neighbors who's a nurse at the hospital, and I don't know in what capacity she's a nurse. I don't want her near me. I don't want her anywhere near me. And he's like, okay, we get this a lot. He stood the fuck up and went out of the room and got his phone and came back in and voice texted somebody a message saying, like, immediately, when he gave the name, said exactly what I said, that he does not know what capacity, but she is not to be near me when I'm in for surgery on the 22nd. I was like, wow, this is what celebrities feel like. I was like, holy shit, I was not expecting like red carpet kind of service like that, because you don't get that often. Like, I thought he'd like take a note and like, okay, lady, you fucking nut, whatever. But it's a real thing. My friend told me that you can make a list of people who are allowed to see you and who are not allowed to see you.
Yeah, because it's like HIPAA. You don't want your person like somebody that hates you from high school or college, and they're like seeing you, and then they put out like pictures of you on the internet.
Well, he said that normally he gets it a lot, because it's people who work there, other nurses or other doctors, and they don't want their friends or whoever seeing them in the hospital. He said, but other times they request those people because they're more comfortable with them. And then I said, look, this woman's a real bitch. I don't want her near me. And he goes, oh. So he was not comfortable with the. I'm like, I'm sure she's a lovely woman in some capacity, but not with me.
He's not ready for you.
No. But the thing also, what terrifies me is that
they need to give you extra anesthesia.
They need to put me out like fucking quick, because I remember when I was going in, they gave me the Propanol, whatever the shit.
You're gonna have the good stuff.
Whatever the shit, I know, but whatever they give you something to
Propanol or whatever. Whatever Michael Jackson had too much of.
They used to give me that when I used to get the nerve block shots. And I mean, I remember like passing out on the table, like with the team laughing. Like I had said whatever, probably about the tattoo.
God only knows.
Right. And then there's laughter. And then I'm like, so I could only imagine what the fuck might come out of my mouth. I can only imagine. Also, speaking of things, I have
something.
But I have nothing else. Speaking of things, so this morning, my friend, who is very knowledgeable about the marijuana, we're having a conversation about it, and he is the one that told me to go get these. Like, they're like gummies, but they dissolve under your tongue, and so you don't ingest them into your stomach, so you don't have to wait the hour. They dissolve into your bloodstream. They work faster. They're better, blah, blah. So we're having this conversation, and I said, I still haven't gotten them, and I've just, I've cut back on the drinking, so I didn't actually go dryish. I can't. So we're having this conversation, and he was like, do you want me to bring you some? So he hustled over here and brought me some. A little tip. At first, I couldn't. Comes in the tea. I couldn't open it.
Do I know?
I'm trying to open it. I'm trying to open it. He's like, so you want to press down and then turn? I'm like, well, I can't even open it. I can't even. But it looked like a chew container, like a tin chew container. So I twist
a can of Skull,
and they're like a big size. He goes, now these are 100 milligrams. He's like, these will fuck you up. He goes, you know what? He goes, take one and then do your show. And I was like, look, I don't know what it's going to do to me. And
I'll kill you.
Well, I thought about taking it right when I sat down to show everybody.
I'll kill you.
And then we could see the progression of it. Don't kick the table. But I decided I'm not going to do that.
I'll kill you.
And then he recommended that I start with, hang on, adjust. God,
these seats are not the most comfortable. But
I've got all my cushion. That's also why I'm forward, because I've got I'm up higher and forward, because I have like a cushion, underneath me and a cushion behind me, and I'm all like propped.
You'll have to excuse the hair. It's been raining here. No, it has been raining fucking here for it's like 10 days. I love it. 10 days. The hair goes whoosh.
That's why why flatten mine.
So to show you the dynamic between how different we are. So that's her stint before her surgery. I'm having surgery. Yes, we've already discussed, with a hot doctor on my knee. But as I'm there getting evaluated prior to the surgery, he says, okay, you're going to need this. He's telling the assistant that's with him, the PA that's in the room, and me. He's like, you're going to need this knee brace and this knee brace and this.
That's all written down in a packet for me.
But this knee, back surgery is a little more serious. This knee thing that's going to move my knee certain amount of degrees every day.
Oh, there we go.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So then he still has in the room. He calls somebody from billing, comes in. She tells him how much it is. I'm not really listening because I'm being asked other questions. Then he turns around and he's like, okay, so it's going to be $5,000 for the immobilizer. It's going to be $250 a day, and you need it for 30 days for the knee thing that bends
knee surgery.
That bends my knee, because I had ACL and meniscus done. I had no ACL left, but my meniscus needed to be repaired. So it bends your knee like a certain degree, and you have to crank it every day. You have to be in it for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
So as he's adding this up, now we only have one child at this point, but as he's adding this up, it's like well over $12,000. I'm not joking. This was in 2004. So it's probably even more now. So I'm sitting.
Does insurance pay for this?
No, wait, I'm getting to that. Oh. This is my whole thing. So I'm in there. Now, keep in mind, remind you, like I've had several meetings with my orthopedist, and I think he's hot, and he's like funny, and we're like always joking. He's not joking.
Thank God I did not find my back, Dr. Hot.
The lady that he brought in was like, oh, and by the way, your insurance does not cover durable medical equipment. I'm like, what's durable medical equipment? Because I've never had anything.
Braces.
I'm like, he's like, it's the braces and stuff. I instantly break out into tears.
I can't get the equipment.
Like not sobbing, but like the tears. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so much money. What do you mean my insurance doesn't cover it? And they're like, the lady was so lovely. She's like, it just doesn't cover durable medical equipment. I already went over it with your insurance. I'm like, why? Why wouldn't it? It's part of the surgery. And I looked at Dr. Mazur. I'm like, do I need this? He's like, yes, you need it. And the one brace, you're going to be leaving surgery with it. I put it on your knee.
Can they just toss it in with
put it on your knee, and you have it on until 10 days post-op. You even have it on when you're in the little thing that moves you. I'm like, oh, and I'm just, oh my God, that's so much money.
Now, how does anybody...
Wait. So he looks at the woman, his, not the assistant, but the medical billing person, and says, whatever the company is, you tell so-and-so at, let's call it Smith Brothers. You tell so-and-so at Smith Brothers Durable Medical Equipment in South Philly. It was from South Philly. That I give them enough business that they're comping this.
Oh, but what? Oh,
so
how do I adjust my cushions some more?
I got all three of my braces.
There we go.
Well, 2 braces and 1 machine comped because I broke out into massive tears. So
but they can't comp everybody, and plenty of people can't afford that. Don't have coverage.
Yeah, no. At that point, I was like, I don't think I really need the knee surgery. And I actually said that, and he's like, you're already dealing without an ACL, like it's shriveled up and gone because I ripped it in 86 and never had anything done about it. So, and he's like, in the meniscus, if you want to bend your knee.
Field hockey. Remember you were at home and you were propped up on the couch?
I had an immobilizer
and you
then.
were being an asshole, and I went over and kicked you in the bad leg.
Bitch. So anyhow,
she couldn't come after me.
There's more to the story. I am bawling, like not sobbing again, but like it's streaming down my face in like big crocodile tears. And he's like, don't worry about it. It's going to be comped. Your husband should be happy. Meanwhile, John knows none of this yet, but he's like, your husband won't be upset. Like you won't have to pay for any of it. John wouldn't have been upset anyhow. But when I did tell John, John's like, you should cry more often.
Christ.
You should cry more often. Totally joking. But at any rate,
sorry, loud. Yeah. Okay. For fuck's sake.
What are you doing?
I ran out of room over here.
So I leave there and I have to have my Starbucks, especially after a stressful visit. So I stop at the Starbucks on the way home from his office. I get my Starbucks. I go in.
I would have gone to the bar. I would have left that and gone to a bar.
No. Well, they weren't open at 9:30 in the morning. So I go in, come back and I have my sunglasses on as always because my eyes are so sensitive. I have something in my eyes, so I take my sunglasses off and I look in the rearview mirror. I look like a crack whore. I went into Starbucks with my glasses on top of my head, looking.
And nobody asked you if you were all right?
A crack whore. My eyes.
Nobody asked if you were all right.
No, and I kid you not, my eyes were beet red. I had clumps of mascara down my face. It looked like I was either homeless or I was just a crack whore.
Homeless people don't have mascara.
Well, I don't know, but I was mortified. So then when I saw him for my pre-op visit, I said, the next time, I just want to tell you, the next time you have a patient in here that cries for whatever reason, if they have makeup running down their face, someone on your staff should tell them so that they don't go into Starbucks looking like a crack whore. Yeah. And he just laughed.
I'm not allowed to wear makeup for surgery, which I already knew.
Well, why?
So I bought the eyebrow pencil that's supposed to be smudge proof. So I tested it out this morning because I wore it to the gym. No, I don't have it on now. And right now, they're not even. This one's arched nicely, and this one, I was in a hurry, and this one's not.
It must be like a genetic thing.
I can't. So, I ran out of time. Anyway, so I was fucking with one of them, and normally I don't when I have the makeup on because it's all over my hand. But it didn't rub off on my hand.
Uh-oh.
So then I went and looked in the shower. I went and looked in the mirror, and they hadn't moved. I was like, oh, this shit's good. So so no makeup, but I'm going to wear this.
You should give an endorsement for whatever brand it is.
I forget the brand. I'm going to have to look. Look, how about this? After the surgery, I went back to you, because first I'm going to be like, my face, I guess, right on my face. So I'm hoping it doesn't smudge all over the pillow, because I'm like, what's this brown stuff on the fucking pillow? But I want them to last the weekend while I'm in the hospital, so I don't look like I should be in a different ward. I don't want to look like
they enlarged the psychiatric ward at the hospital. In all seriousness, because the mental health crisis, especially in this area since COVID, has gone up.
Well, I don't want to look like I belong.
I just read an article in the paper.
Brows with pieces missing. So
anybody that has shaves their eyebrows, they have a problem. They usually have a mental problem. So
I don't shave them.
Good.
I pull them out.
I know, but it is good that you are going to pencil them on so they don't wheel you back to the room.
And I have to clarify. I have a call with the nurse next week, and then I have my next week, and then next Friday I have the appointment at the hospital for whatever the EKG and whatever screening I have to have done first. Meanwhile, I had such bad anxiety the last two nights. I thought I was having a fucking heart attack. I actually thought maybe I got to take my ass to the hospital. And then I was Googling the difference between an anxiety attack and heart attack. And I was like, well, I mean, I'm having one or the other. But then I figured I made it to the first night and nothing happened. So then the second night, last night, I was like,
oh, and
but I didn't drink because I wanted, and I thought I'll just have some wine, I'll be fine. And I didn't have the wine. I just put myself to bed. I didn't sleep well either night because, the anxiety. Anyway.
And one of the symptoms, though, of menopause, just so you know, in perimenopause,
I already have anxiety.
It's heart palpitations. I just want you to know that.
No, it wasn't heart palpitations. I had a pain in my chest. It was like I had like a pain in my chest. And then just like, was it in your arm too? I'm like, well, my whole left side kind of hurts, but I think it was from sleeping on that side. But then also, the more I thought about it, the more anxious I got, and then my heart raced a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna fucking, here we go, blow up on the couch. I mean, I can't. So
That's funny.
Right? It's not, and I apologize to anybody that has a heart problem and watches this. I apologize, but I mean, I was like, so then I thought, okay, well, let me work out today, and now if I make it through the workout, I'm probably okay, and maybe I'll feel better. And so it helped.
Good.
The medicine ball slams from a seated position, of course, because I'm not allowed to. I have to do everything from a seated position. I was like, and I'm slamming it where my legs are spread as wide as they can go, and I'm slamming this thing from the bench, and I was like, I'm gonna catch it coming up. I know I'm gonna catch this fucking thing coming up. I'm gonna have a whole other problem with my glasses smashed into my face.
When I do it with Mike, I'm standing though, and we have to. We have to go outside, and I'm like, I don't really want to have to get dentist. I see the dentist today.
Why do you have to go outside?
Because sometimes I have to throw it to the wall, and they don't want me throwing it on the wall in the gym. Obviously,
no, I just slam it. He put mats down. I slam it
because it's like the medicine ball that I'm using,
like a big
and
black
then
rubber.
sometimes depending upon it's like a sandbag where you just drop it and there's no bounce.
And this fucker bounced back because I almost caught it in the face a couple times. I'm like, here we go. This is gonna be fun. And so,
a broken nose.
So speaking of Mike. I don't know if he still watches, but
did
you tell him what I said yet? Did you tell him what I said?
No, I'll see you tomorrow.
So my PT was doing a plank challenge, and that fucker got to after he got to 4 minutes and 20. I can't even 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So I thought, I'm gonna try to do a plank because I'm supposed to try to do some core strength training before the surgery if I can, whatever. So. I did my first plank and I had a fucking year and I hit the fucking floor for 10 seconds. I was like, well, fuck, I know I can do this. But it's not because I can't hold it. It's because the
back.
The pain. I can't flatten my back. I mean, I can sit here flat, but like I can't lay flat on my stomach or my back, whatever. Anyway. So I did it. So then each day was adding 5 seconds, right? So 30 seconds, no problem. It didn't really hurt too much. So then I got to the minute and a half on Saturday. I was like this. I mean, I was like, and then my legs were like bouncing around the sides. It was more like a mountain climber in place. Because like I would go flat and I'd go back up. And then it was like a downward dog kind of thing. Well, that fucker, so I shouldn't have done a minute and a half. I shouldn't have done, so I was in a bad way. So I wasn't supposed to see my PT this week.
Oh my God.
Because he was going on vacation. Right? So here I am doing my minute. I was so proud of myself for doing a minute and a half plank. Wow. And then we Ubered out to meet a friend for dinner, and then I sat in the back seat, and the back seat always kills me. And then we get to dinner, and I was sitting on a hard fucking chair for 2.5 hours, and I didn't feel it. I was okay till I stood up to go use the bathroom. And then it was like someone took a fucking knife and just stuck it in my ass cheek and just fucking was like ripping it. I can't, the pain is unreal. And then we'd had a little bit of wine at dinner, and then we came home like, I'm in fucking pain. I'm like, I have to have something else. I'm not drunk enough to go to bed yet. Like I was in so much pain. So I thought I'll be better on Sunday. So then Sunday, I reached out to the PT. I'm like, okay, look, because he told me like if you need me before I go, just let me know. I'll squeeze you in. I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Well, I also cleaned the house on Saturday too. So there's a lot going on Saturday. The minute and a half plank, which I think is what did it. Then the cleaning and whatever. Yeah. So then I texted him Sunday. I'm like, I'm in a really bad way. When can you squeeze me in this week? So I went in, and then this time he tried to put the electrodes on the needles.
That's supposed to be really good.
So we were talking about it before. I mean, I meant to ask him about it for months now, but we're talking about beer, so I forget to ask.
Oh, imagine.
So we did that. So that was kind of cool. I mean, it gets in deeper, but anyway. So okay. So now I did it.
This is so awful. I'm so tired. I'm like 49... fighting off a cold. I'm not feeling well.
You better not be fucking breathing on me with your fucking sickness. I can't afford to be sick. I'm supposed to be taking a vitamin every day. I went and bought the big pack of Airborne at the BJ's so I can take one every day to ward off the sickness. Anyway, okay, so if you know, we haven't talked about fucking animals yet, so we have to talk about the animals.
Easy. This is not, we're not making fun. It is for knowledge. It's to be,
I'm gonna laugh. And
look,
then you're gonna think
listen
I'm a
to me.
horrible fucking person. I'm laughing.
It is for being bear aware and for being shark aware. Because I know people that go, not out west, because you can have black bears, and this is what we're going to talk about.
That was a black bear, Molly?
Oh, yeah. Which is very rare.
Oh, wow.
It's very rare.
That bitch was
Very
aggressive.
That bitch was aggressive. Now, wait, I'm getting to
Maybe
it.
she had the cubs nearby.
She did. I'm going to get to it.
Okay.
And then people go in the ocean. People go in the ocean here, Jersey Shore. People,
I
people
don't do
going
the
on
ocean
vacation.
anymore too much.
They're great whites.
The ocean is... Well, when we were in Massachusetts over the summer...
Yeah.
Fall, whatever the fuck
Well,
fall.
up there, New England has the
in
biggest.
September, we were in fucking Cape Cod. And we were out on the beach and there was a big fucking sign that said there are great whites in these waters. Be aware. I was like, well, thank Christ it's cold without going out there. So then here's me looking at the water, thinking this little channel that I'm looking at, like I'm going to see. Then when we went whale watching, I asked the fisherman guy, I'm like, I need to know how many great whites do you see out here?
Did you not know where Jaws was filmed?
Yes, but he told me, fucking Joe, where's Joe when you need him? He told me maybe he's seen one in the 30 plus years.
That's bullshit. He just wanted. He didn't want you to be scared. And he wanted you to come.
I wasn't scared. I wanted to see. I didn't even care about the fucking whales. I want to see a great white. I want to see a great white. I want to see it fucking get something too while I'm out. I was like, I wanted to see like fucking Jaws reenactment. I wanted to yell out like, "We're gonna need a bigger boat!" Like I wanted the whole. No, and he's like, I mean, whatever. It was 40.
If
whatever.
you would have yelled out, "We're gonna need a bigger boat," I might have pissed myself right there had I been with you.
I might have if one of the whales had breached, but they didn't. It's rare to see them breach, so it didn't like breach high up.
Well, we're gonna get to whales. So my point is not to relish in other people's pain, but to make you to be aware.
We'll do the whale story first.
Aware.
Since
Okay.
we're talking about whales.
So this was I forget where.
This was a fascinating one. She sent it to me on the Instagram.
It is a fascinating one.
I watched it 3 times.
It's animal against animal.
It's
so
a circle of life.
This killer whale takes down a great white shark.
Orca.
But they called it a killer whale, but it's also a 60-year-old
do they eat
orca.
People? That's what I wanted to circle back to.
Well, I don't think it's like they're hunting people,
they were
but I'm sure if you're like in the water, it'll get you.
They can be aggressive, and like they were tearing a part of a catamaran apart in the video.
Well, they're probably pissed.
Sometimes they can be aggressive, but I want to know, will they eat people too?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that
But I don't think they're in cold waters, though.
No, listen to me.
Right? Aren't orcas in cold water?
They are like bears. They are an opportunist. An opportunist. Eatist as in like eating, and they're an opportunist because they will eat anything that comes near them. They eat plants. They're omnivores, but they're a little lazy like the bears. So if the stuff is right there, hey, I'm going to go for it. But it's not like they're seeking out like, oh, there's a human coming up on the shore. Let me go in there. They're not.
Well, what was it? Where was this at? Was it National Geographic?
It's a National Geographic. I forgot where it was. I didn't see it yet. It's coming up. Then this is why.
It was like a whole movie.
Yeah, this is why I tell you these things. We don't always get the facts. We don't always get the whole story.
We watch very different TV.
But Google, it's educating yourself. Educate yourself.
Now I know what an intimacy coordinator is. I'm Googling intimacy coordinator and you're looking up fucking great whites.
I'm not looking.
It
came on the news, and I heard the one on our local KYW radio. Now I'm going to get to it. So anyhow, this is what you get. This is Karma. Karma.
How do you know?
I'm listening to this.
What's
whale?
Karma?
The whale and the shark.
Well, why is there bad karma on the fucking shark?
No, it's because oh my God.
What does karma have to do with the circle of life?
Great white sharks are horrible. I know they're an apex eater.
Fuck, you need to get out of television.
But they eat people. No,
they fucking eat people because they.
I know, but who wants a great white shark? I don't want to be surfing and have like my leg chomped off because the.
Well, you're not fucking surfing, so you don't have to fucking worry about it. You don't even get in the ocean.
I know that. Well,
this is way down.
This is why. So let me go back. So
the shark deserves to have bad karma.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Oh my God! For the love of Christ!
It's nature. It's the circle of life. So this is a 60-year-old orca.
How do they know? They're tagged.
I guess.
Well, it was a grandma.
She's a grandma, and they actually named it, but I didn't get the name of it.
The whales have names.
They named it, and it's a grandma, and I don't know how they know it's 60, but it's humongous, and it shows it kind of hunting this great white. Which is interesting because they usually hunt in their pods, but it's just single
because
she's a big mama.
And it's amazing how fast a whale can fucking move.
Well, it's water too.
Still.
But anyhow, so
It was interesting.
it's National Geographic. It's coming out. You should watch for it. Look on the different stations.
That was the most exciting part of it was that though.
I know, but I love it, National Geographic, no
I love
matter what
National
it's about.
Geographic, I like
But
it.
so watch it and look it up.
find
Now,
both
the
of these
second
interesting.
thing happened just this week. This is horrible.
It is horrible.
But
I
I'm
mean,
telling
I
you to
can't.
be bear aware because people are like, we don't have grizzlies. What's Kelly talking about? That's a bunch of bullshit. She needs to get off of it. Well, listen up, folks. So, in Butler, Pennsylvania, which
Butler's
is
north of here.
it's north of here, but it's northwest, so it's above Pittsburgh, folks.
Butler is? Oh, I'm thinking of Bangor.
No, Butler County,
Butler.
which is above Pittsburgh. There was a mama bear and 3 cubs, which this lady did not know about. So the story is
There was a mama bear.
the lady opened up her back door to let her small black Pomeranian out
So say
to
Chihuahua.
relieve itself.
Oh.
And as she opens the door, she sees this outline of this big bear. And you can Google this. This was just on the news too. And they interviewed the woman, by the way. So
She's not dead.
no.
Thank
So I probably missed. Yeah. Well, anyhow, so she lets the dog out. She says she sees an outline of this large bear, and then she sees the bear going after her dog. And in her interview, she says she's quoted as saying, "I didn't want it to kill my dog." So she was yelling at the bear. The bear turned on her. Now, keep in mind, she also
what
said
would you do for your dog?
she also said she thought she saw cubs. Well, instantly in like a nanosecond, but I understand you're not thinking this way, but you should know that bear cubs and a mama, you don't want to be anywhere near that situation. But so anyhow,
I mean, unless you're some kind of fucking moron, I think you know
well,
that.
I don't think, yeah, but well, you never know.
I
never
think it's a
know.
common knowledge.
It's like me asking Dad if
It's
bears
any
can swim.
animal. It's any, and you don't come between any animal and their child,
We'll
the
get
baby.
we'll get back
Even
to that.
humans, you don't come between a mama and their kid.
Well, it depends on who you.
I mean, anyway.
So anyhow, so it's unfortunate. So she screamed to get the bear off of the dog.
Did the dog survive?
I think so. I didn't get to that
Okay.
part. I think the
I
dog
really wanna
did
know.
because the bear stopped what it was doing and went after her. So this was at 8:30.
It got
This
her
was
good.
at 8:30 at night, letting her dog out her back door onto her whatever you have patio to relieve
Veranda?
itself. No, patio.
Oh.
Not the deck because that's high up. A patio,
What's in
cement
a
like
patio and a veranda?
a cement patio. I don't know.
Okay.
I thought a thing had a pergola. Anyway, so she
Pergola?
thing.
Okay,
So she has
a thing.
arm, face, neck, and head injuries. She thought she was. This is quoting. She thought she was going to be scalped by the bear,
Oh my god.
and this is a black bear. So anyhow, she obviously called the police.
The
rushed
bitch
her.
was angry that day, my friends.
Rushed her to the hospital.
Who'd she call? How'd she call?
I think her husband or somebody
Oh.
was home. So they rushed her obviously to the
So
hospital.
the bear left her.
Well, I think eventually.
Like, it didn't try to eat her. It just attacked her and then ran
Right.
off.
Right.
Like,
Or
these are the
somebody came
details
out and scared it.
These
Yeah.
are the details I need to know. Like,
Well, look it up. That's what I'm
it
saying.
just left her? Okay. So
educate
the
yourself.
grizzly would have eaten it.
Well, yeah.
The black bear just attacked her and then ran off. I
Yeah,
guess.
or maybe
Okay.
she got back and I don't know, but somehow the bear let go
I
of
need the
her. The bear did a
details.
lot of damage, though. I mean, she's lucky to be alive. The bear did a lot of damage, and it's not funny, and I'm not making fun of it. My point is cautionary.
Fascinating, though.
Watch out when you let your dog out, even in a suburban area, because they're not doing as much hunting. This is black bear, not grizzly. Black bear. They're not doing as much
We
hunting,
don't have grizzlies in
especially in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, and the population is now getting large or larger, and not only that, then all these developments, housing developments and homes and things
I
are
don't think
going
we're going
up.
to see a bear around here.
And
I'm just
then-
going to go out and say I don't think we're going to see a
Wait,
fucking
there was
bear
one
around
up in
here.
Bucks County.
Oh, that's
At
Bucks
any rate,
County.
and there was one in Delaware County. Ask Joe last year. So
Right.
the bears
Not right
we're
here.
going into the bears' habitat, so they're getting, they're coming back out, and they were after
Well,
the
and
trash.
someday they're never going to have a fucking no animals are going to have any
Well,
habitat.
it was also
because, I
after
mean,
it was also after the trash. Again, this isn't out west, or it's not the Poconos. You wouldn't think that in your
Poconos.
suburban little town that you'd have to bring your trash in every night, the trash can, because the bears are going to come for it. But that's what it was doing. So, long story short, sorry about all this.
I was not
She
sure.
is alive. She's doing well.
Glad to hear it.
The police in Pennsylvania Wildlife Commission,
Game Commission.
Game Commission, had to somehow they found the bear less than 24 hours later. They found the mother bear with her
How do
3
they
cubs.
know?
I don't know.
Is that fucking bear tagged too?
They also might have gotten some DNA. So if the bear was tagged, I know a little bit more than I should about bears. So you guys are going to think I'm really weird. But they will take DNA.
She has a lot of books at home about
I do.
bears. What about bear maulings that she reads out loud to me sometimes because we're not safe?
No, it is not just about it is not just about bear maulings. It is called Death in Yellowstone, and it's about crazy ass people who go out in the middle of the night drunk without their shoes on and walk into a geyser, walk into a hot geyser of like 4 under.
In fucking
some of it's snowmobiles, whatever. It's just
some of that just lay there on the couch. She just fucking reads out loud.
I mean, I bought it in Yellowstone. It's like their top
So
seller.
listen to this one with excitement in her voice.
And you do ask for more occasionally. So anyhow, this is the problem. Because the bears are coming into human places. They had to euthanize the bear. So they identified the bear and the 3 cubs. They had to euthanize the bear.
And what happened to the cubs?
And also, mainly because this is the best quote.
They're not foster care for fucking bear cubs. So now what?
This is the best quote. They had to euthanize the mama bear because she was still showing aggression.
Well, I mean... Maybe she was showing aggression because there were people coming around.
I don't know. Maybe she had like a screw loose. Like every once in a while they get agitated and stay agitated. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of true. So anyhow, so then they tranquilized the 3 baby cubs. They weren't babies. They were like a year old. They tranquilized the 3 cubs, and then they relocated them. Of course, they didn't tell us where, but they relocated them.
But how are they gonna
into
live?
the woods? Well, because they're a year old, so it's like a sink or swim. They didn't. They didn't.
Survival of fittest at its best. Good luck, cubs. Good luck.
They didn't want to mess with the cycle of life, and
they did mess with the cycle of life.
Well, but the bear was showing aggression, and
I mean,
if they didn't euthanize
why couldn't they move the bear and the cubs out further in the middle of nowhere?
Because you need to read some books about bears.
But it didn't eat the woman.
I know,
when
but
they eat the person, then it's.
But the bears will come back. Bears have a very good memory, and they have relocated. They've done studies.
What if it was traumatized by the woman being there, so it's not going to go back to her house?
No, because it had food. It got food. That's not her. It got her trash. That's what she was doing there. Again, bears.
Joe and I talk about moving to the mountains because we hate people.
Bears are
opportunistic. I need to rethink this because
bears are opportunistic. So it was there.
Like I'd have to walk around like Annie Oakley with like a fucking shotgun on myself like all the time.
So two things. Again, people are like,
I don't want to euthanize a bear. But
she knows too much about bears. I spend too much time.
A lot of time.
This is the thing. So they euthanized it because I identified it. She was still showing aggression, which meant that she could go after.
Is someone home to get your child off the bus?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that if they euthanized her, then they could take care of the cubs, as opposed to someone else like random Joe Schmo running into her or shooting her, and then the bears are again orphans, the cubs, but then they're running around nowhere. So I don't know what it takes to get bears into like a bear shelter. Like we were in when we were in
Wyoming.
Yeah, because when we were in Wyoming,
shelters?
Well, it's not a shelter. It was the bear in Wolf.
What are they called? Like a whatchamacallit, when they have these places out in the middle of nowhere, a sanctuary.
Yeah,
not a shelter. Sanctuary.
And they're not calling this a sanctuary. They're not calling it. So it's the Wolf and Bear Center right outside the West Yellowstone gates in Wyoming. No, it's in Montana, and it's very they have taken bears and the gray wolves.
Pardon me.
And they've placed them there, but I forget.
It's like a sanctuary.
Since they were babies, not grown ass adult bear. So at any rate, so that's my thing. Be very bear aware. You never know what's outside.
We've been an hour, so we do need to wrap this up. But we cannot end this without the big news this week. When we left the surgeon's office and we talked about going to lunch, but we did not because on the way home we brought up Jason Kelsey's retirement speech.
Oh my God!
Which I do. I fucking love this guy. But of course,
Bald.
Joe and I
bald.
She's bald. Joe and I are amused because all we can think of, for those of you that watch Ted Lasso, it always goes back to Ted Lasso. Everything in life goes back to Ted Lasso. When Roy Kent retired from the soccer, from the football, and he just balls his eye. It was like the same thing, which was hilarious to me. It was a very nice speech. But then he had the retirement speech. It was all very nice. Then this motherfucker, we are kindred spirits, he and I. I know it. We are meant to be friends. If I could just meet him without somehow being cray about it.
I'm meant to be friends with him too.
You're not jumping on the burning tables and chugging beers. God damn it!
I'll chug a beer. I'm not jumping on a table.
So at the fire station that is next to my old apartment, that
used to blare in
mile, 3/4 of a mile.
The noise used to blare in our apartment bedroom window, and she'd shit herself.
I would not shit myself. Let me just say. If I was on the phone, I had to abruptly hang up. And if you wake up in the middle of the night to that fucking thing, look, we didn't have those growing up.
No, it's like a horn right in the window.
It was a speaker system in circles, and it was literally like
right in
like from me to this fucking base, like outside my window. Look, you would. That
the
thing would
first
go off.
time it went
you
off,
would shit yourself, forget who you are, piss yourself, forget who you are for like 15 minutes. I didn't. That was from. Right. Yeah, because John was like, oh, wait, that fucking thing goes off. I'm like, what is it? Because I lived in college, I lived like a block from the fire station, so no big deal. I'm used to sirens.
Oh my
He's
God.
Like, oh no, you fucking wait.
Yeah, we were there when it went off. And
oh my God. Right? And I mean, you're talking, but like your mouth is moving, but there's no sound coming from anybody.
John, we got in the car to go home, and
and
John's
it
like,
revs up and it revs down.
She's gonna love that.
We can hear it. We have 3 in like within a
Well,
mile,
that's
less
okay.
than a mile radius, and it revs up. It's like.
So it was not revving. Okay. Oh my God.
And it gets really loud, and then it.
Okay, we don't.
Back down. Anyway.
You do a good.
Anyway. So
a good impersonation of words.
So we're sitting here the other night, and Joe sees on whatever the fuck popped up. So Jason Kelce, when he was at the game in New York playing whoever it was, and he wanted
Bills,
the Bills,
Buffalo
and he
Bills.
wanted to jump on
The Bills
the
Mafia.
burning table because that's what they do, and he did not do it, probably because he was under contract by the NFL, was not allowed to do such activities. So next to at the fire station next to my I'm just
it's on his bucket list.
It's in this direction, right, from where we are. And so he's over there dressed in fucking fire safe garb, and that motherfucker got to jump onto a burning table. He is living his best life.
Uncle Travie was there. Uncle Travie was in town.
So then I said
Uncle
to Joe,
Travie was in town.
When I see the surgeon next, I'm going to ask how long till I can jump on a burning table. So with my luck, I catch the hell on
fire
fire,
department.
though.
If you watch their podcast, he had They gave him the thing for the
so that beard doesn't like. Whoo,
and then they gave him
whoo.
gloves, and then he used his father's from the Still Mills. His father's
she meant to say steel mill, not still mill. Steel mill.
Steel mill.
You said still.
Well, kind of like Pittsburgh. He borrowed his father's old
I just figured the
flame retardant or fireproof jumpsuit thing. That was his father's.
I just assumed the fire station gave it to him.
Well, the hat they did, and
I mean,
the
that
gloves.
fucker, he retired, and within 24 hours, he's jumping on a burning table.
Oh, and he did say, watch the podcast.
I didn't watch it yet.
Watch out next year because,
oh my God,
because they're playing there again next year.
Oh boy. See, and then I said to Joe,
at Buffalo,
he would ride a mechanical bull with me, and I looked into mechanical bulls. You can rent them for $900. So, and they have other animals too, FYI. I said, see, if we rent a mechanical bull, I bet he would come over and ride it with us. And then also, how would I get him to pay for the $900 to rent said mechanical bull? But I just know.
His wife might not.
She probably just shakes her fucking head. Every day she's getting out of bed, just shakes her head. When he retired the day after he gave his speech, I was like, yeah, she's over there thinking, Christ, now I got 4 fucking kids at home.
He needs to find something to do with his time real quick.
He will. I can't wait to see what other antics he has, though.
So,
and there's Travis just hanging out, drinking something.
Well, that's because he's still under contract.
Right, yeah,
he can't even go,
right. He was thoroughly
jumping out of a helicopter.
Well, then they were in Ohio somewhere, and they just slammed a beer. Jason won.
On the Cavaliers, on the basketball team, the Cavaliers, court. They were courtside, slammed a beer before it started. Their mascot brought it over to them.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
He was on the phone. He got up.
Travis.
He stood up. They both just slammed the beer. Jason won. Jason won.
I mean, I don't know what Travis was doing, but Jason literally. I mean,
Travis is not as good at this kind of thing.
The guy was like,
Jason is.
There was some guy that commented, it took him 2 seconds. And if you watch it, it really does only take him 2 seconds. Full beer.
I can't open my throat to do that, though. Like, we used to do beer bongs in college, and I can't. Like, I can guzzle it, like, but I can't just, like, open. They say just open your throat and let it down, and I can't. I don't know. I don't know what they mean. People don't know how that happens.
Not that I'm ladylike by any means, but I was by no means doing a beer bong.
You didn't do beer bongs?
I didn't do an inverted keg stand.
We didn't do those.
No.
I mean, how do you drink upside down? Anyway, look.
Anyhow,
okay.
but here's the thing about his speech, and then we will go.
We do have to go.
If you have not watched watched his retirement speech, it is 43 minutes long.
It was moving. It throws out the F-bomb.
And they didn't blink it out. I can't believe they didn't have a 7-second delay. And not that beep it. Not that that's the biggest thing, but I'm watching this and he's like, fuck. I was like, oh.
Well, so it was on during the day, so they probably figured kids aren't watching it.
But it's also him. That's the thing about him. He's very authentic. But let's go to the main point. You don't have to like football. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like the Eagles.
Who doesn't love him?
The point is you don't have to like any of this. But if you are a human being with a soul and you listen to what he said, you don't need to see him. You don't even need to know who it is. If you listen to the words, if it did not evoke some emotions in you, you are a dead human being.
For the love of
Because
Christ.
you cried and you laughed.
I did not cry. I did laugh.
It's thanking anybody. And again, you don't even need to be an athlete. You can be.
I was laughing because it reminded me so much of the Roy Kent speech on Ted Lasso.
Well, I haven't seen
because
Ted Lasso.
Had this fucking rough and tough guy.
Well, he's bawling.
Who was, and he was right. So that made.
And then
me,
he did laugh.
Right. I mean, it makes.
But he couldn't get himself together in the beginning, and
I missed it. I came in I missed the initial fuck.
I taped it. I stood there. I couldn't even sit to watch it, and I was like kind of crying with him. I'm like, and I did wear my jersey. I wore his jersey. I'm like, you need to get a hold of yourself. You're a grown ass woman. You need to get a hold of yourself. But the other thing,
I had hate in my eyes because the fucking neighbor I hate just went by. I can't even. I can't.
But
there goes the other one. Daddy douchebag home for the day.
Oh my god! What the most?
I can't.
Everyone's
going home from school.
This came out afterwards. Kelsey had on a team-issued sleeveless shirt. It wasn't cut off. It was actually sleeveless.
Okay. It was a sleeveless shirt.
And sweatpants, his normal self, and his flip-flops.
He had jeans on. He had sweatpants on?
He had sweatpants on.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing. And I noticed when he walked out, you couldn't see him, but in pictures the next day in the paper, he had what looked like his ankles were taped, like down to the midsection of his foot. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, I guess he's in like
someone called
that
it
much
socks.
pain.
It was clearly not socks.
No. Well, one journalist called it socks. I'm like, it's not socks.
They also called it sandals. They're fucking flip-flops.
But it told them, flip-flops, not sandals. It told them why. It explained why. Because the trainer, they interviewed the trainer after the trainer posted something on social media thanking Jason Kelsey. And it was very moving.
You need to give the short version of this.
Yeah, I am. The trainer has cancer. And I had cancer. So he missed taping Jason's ankles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game that the Eagles played. It was the Eagles' last game, and he missed taping them. And he said to Jason, "Oh, I'm so upset. I'm so sad that I couldn't go to that. I couldn't make that game because of my treatment or whatever. And I didn't get to tape your ankles."
They were also friendly with each other because Jason offered the house in Stone Harbor to him and his family. He offered to have groceries delivered. Like there's a lot of what can I do for you? They were good friends.
The guy and then the trainer went on to.
As I've learned, you become good friends with someone who's like helping you when you're in pain.
Yeah, I mean when you're naked, I mean they're getting to you. So
Who's naked?
Oh, I mean your clothes.
I mean he's having his ankles taped. I'm the one having my ass pinned.
I know. So
Needle.
The trainer
Ouch.
said, I have wrapped the trainer was like, you don't understand. I have wrapped this guy's ankles and fingers every day for 13 years, and I didn't get to do it the last game. So Jason called him in to wrap his ankles one last time.
That could jerk a tear out of me.
Oh my God. Even a heartless person should be crying at that. So Jason had him in to wrap his ankles one last time before his press conference. Now, the one thing I do like is not that he was just himself and he didn't care. He was on television. I like how he said he was so emotional through the whole thing, especially in the very beginning. Whole thing, I thought we weren't going to ever see.
What's to do? You're walking away from millions and millions of dollars. You'd be fucking sad.
That's not why. So, but I thought we weren't gonna. I thought they were gonna have to come in and cut him off and say we can't do this today because he can't speak right now.
Shit together.
But right before he actually uttered the words and the sentence that contained "I'm retiring today, I announce my," he goes, "This is where it goes off the rails."
I caught that. Yes. This is why, because we left the surgeon's office and it's right by Capitol Grill, and Joe's like, "Do you want to go get a nice lunch?" And I was like, "No, I want to watch retirement speech." So I had it on the phone the whole way home while he was driving, and we watched it. So okay, we do. It's a minute 12. Minute 12.
We were funny. We were funny today.
Okay, we're fucking funny. Hopefully, people thought we were fucking funny. I also have to pee because in case you missed it, I drank 2 of these, and so I know I have to pee. So we have to wrap this up. And if this bothers you, because I thought about this. For those of you that watched Weeds, you never watched Weeds. In Weeds, the character Nancy, right, whatever the fuck her real name was, the actress, she would suck on these fucking Starbucks cups with these straws, and you wanted to just reach in and just fucking smack it right out of her fucking hand, every episode.
Wait a minute. Not that we're trying.
And then I have these.
Not that we're trying to emulate anybody, but I've watched a couple podcasts with people that are famous. They have a Starbucks iced tea. Guy was reaching for it today.
But it was a whole she would also
they're chugging their caffeine drink over here, whatever the hell.
But also the famous people are getting paid to have those things out.
Well, it's funny because they're hiding the label of the iced tea.
You can still know what it is. But in the show, for those of you that watched Weeds, I mean, she would stand there
Okay, well, you're not chewing on
talk
it.
and it was like a large iced coffee and just fucking rattle it around. And every episode, I just wanted to Joe and I both wanted to just smack it the fuck out of her hand. But and this was the Christmas one, but I kept it out for St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, okay, so nobody cares my fucking cups.
Have a good one.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next week at some point.
Hopefully the sun comes out.
Yeah, it's been. I love the rainy days. Okay.
Bye.
That's
Have a good
it.
week.
Have a great week. Take
Stay
care.
healthy.
You
Bye.
gotta hit the button.